Hello everyone, welcome to today's live stream. I Shivam welcome you all to daily live stream by Stripe. So we'll try to look at all the data and analyze today's market action. So before we begin, you all can log into web.strike.money to see the same tools and use it for your own analysis. So without any further delay, let's begin. If you get any questions, just drop a comment. Right. I hope you all can see my screen. So we are having a typical expiry day kind of a session wherein the markets are a little bit under pressure. So before going to that, let's just look at the FII DI data for yesterday to see what the big guys are doing. So the cash market data first. So you can see since a lot of sessions, the FIs have been net sellers and DIs have been net buyers. But in yesterday's trading session, there was a slight change to this wherein both FIIs and DIs were the net buyers, wherein FIIs have a net buy figure of 722 crores and DIs have a net buy figure of 2400 crores. So this is a near-term positive for the cash market. And in terms of derivatives, if we look for the FI data, then there was a small buying in index futures, but in terms of options, their uh, call unwinding was there and they added puts. So someone is asking in Hindi. So in Hindi, जो FIs हैं उन्होंने अपने फ्यूचर इंडेक्स पोजीशन में थोड़ा ऐड किया है, बट ऑप्शंस डेटा के ऊपर देखकर तो डेटा इज स्टिल bearish for the market. So let's move to today's action. So you can see more stocks are negative than positive in the Nifty. 34 stocks are down today, 16 are up, and similar is the case with Nifty 500. So stock specific action is in play, wherein selected stocks are performing despite what is happening in the broader market. So the indices are slightly flat to negative because of the expiry days as well. So if we look at the options data, as today is the expiry, the highest call OI is at 19,400 for the Nifty, which means that it is a resistance level for this expiry. And for the Bank Nifty, there is a lot of call writing for both at 44,000 as well as 43,900. And the current spot levels are around just below 43,900. So both of these levels are resistance for the Bank Nifty. Let's look at a chart of Nifty and Bank Nifty as well once. So you can go to the index and then either the charts tab or the technicals tab to have a look. So all these indicators have been given on the site. So you can just have a quick view of what indicators are bearish or bullish for the market. So I've been discussing this trend line since quite a few sessions that has not, been broken on the upside. So the market has been under pressure ever since, and it's still below its key averages. If we are to look at the setup, that is the proprietary setup made by Roger, where we're looking at the RMI indicator, Dow trend, 20 moving average, and the 40-day exponential average. So as of yesterday, the 40-day was holding, but in today's session, we are seeing a slight case of the 40-day also breaking. So the level is 19,361, which if held as per closing level, then it should be fine. Otherwise, the all four negatives on the daily chart are there. In terms of extremely small time frame, that is hourly, we saw a few confirmations came in on Monday and yesterday, but it failed at right at the 40-hour average, and it's again under pressure. So it still remains to be seen whether or not we are able to close above the 40-day or not. For the Bank Nifty, Bank Nifty has been relatively weaker, already below all the key averages. But right now, if we look at the RSI, it is about 33, which is fairly low, and we are trying to see exhaustion in the downtrend on the basis of the candlesticks. Actually, it's pretty interesting that Bank Nifty, if you look at it, on the SMA 100, it says bullish because it's still price is still above 100 moving average, and you can see it took support yesterday right at the 100-day average. So it is a fairly long-term average. It yet to be seen whether or not Bank Nifty is able to hold above this level or not. So there is a question: how is RMI helpful? So it is a very good question actually. So I'll show you with the help of Bank Nifty chart only. So RMI is a rate of change indicator wherein when the green line crosses above red line, it is a bullish crossover signal, and when it crosses below that line, it is a bearish signal. And you can see all these cycles revolving around the zero line. So each move is one cycle. So whenever you get a fresh cross below the zero line, it means that the new cycle has started, and when it comes back, goes into sell, comes back at zero, again turns into buy, that means a fresh cycle has started. So it is very helpful to figure out cycles based on the RMI. You can see it on any chart and any different time frames. You will be able to spot cycles. So for example, in the same chart, if I go to weekly time frame, you can see the same logic here. The fresh signal came here, and the market is trending, and finally we have a negative divergence, and the indicator goes into sell. And again, from back below the zero line, it gives a fresh cycle. So if we talk about the weekly time frame only for the RMI on the Bank Nifty, then you can see it has been in sell, and the market has been under pressure ever since. Right now, it is at the key level, which is the 20-week average. So if one of these moving averages hold, then we can expect to catch a fresh cycle either on the daily or the weekly time frame. So that is how RMI is used. Now the good part is to do that. You can't manually go on all the charts and look for signals. So for that, we have made available a lot of scanners. So we are also adding candlestick scans and different scans based on technical indicators very shortly. So once that is added, I'll be able to show you how all those scans work. But right now, you can simply make your own watch list and even run all these scans on a watch list. So as you can see here in the watch list section, I have made one watch list by my name, and here when I go into the scanners, then in any of these scans, let's say the Dow trend scan, I can simply choose my watch list and I will see the results on my watch list. So as of now, you can see few price scanners, a Dow trend, which is a price action scanner, as well as the RMI scanner is there, wherein you can see fresh trend change signals or fresh bullish or bearish crossover signals based on all the time frames. So right now you can see on my watch list, there are few stocks that I've added, and I'm able to see hourly, daily, weekly, as well as monthly time frame signals on one chart. So for example, if let's see the first stock on here is Axis Bank, it shows me that the Dow trend on the monthly time frame is up. On the weekly, it is down. You can see because it is making lower highs and lower lows. On the daily chart, it is showing a down to up signal, which means that based on today's price, if the price close right here, then this trend changes to up. Why? Because you can see as per Dow theory, it is closing above the previous high. So Dow trend signal is the first signal to get because price leads everything. All other indicators are derived from the price itself. So the first thing that will always give you a signal is the price itself. That is why Dow trend scanner is important. Now, the same stock, if you see, if it appears in the RMI scan on the same or the next day, then the signal gets even more stronger. So let's go into this stock itself and try to look. I'm going into the setup. So you can see here a green sign is coming in the Dow trend, which means the Dow trend is changing from up down to up. Now, to get more confirmation on the same chart, you would want a fresh RMI buy signal here on the daily chart, and followed by a closing above the key averages, which are the 20-day and the 40-day exponential average. Here you can see all the levels are also available for those who are not, not much into charts. They can just look at this data in a grid format and position size according to their time frame. So the same thing they can be on weekly, daily, hourly, or monthly. So if I go to hourly, which is a smaller time frame, you can see here the all the four confirmations that have been there on the latest candle. That is, RMI has been pushed to the buy side. Dow trend is already up because price is starting to make higher highs. 20-hour average and the 40-hour exponential average is also being broken. So this is how you can use the various the same setup on various different time frames according to your preferred time frame. Coming back to today's action, in the FNO segment, there is also a downward pressure seen, uh, wherein about 102 stocks are there in short buildup and only 45 are there in long buildup. So the action is very stock specific today. Only selected stocks are up. And if I go to the sector heat map, then you can see it is being led by the Nifty Consumer Durables and Nifty PSU Bank. So we have discussed both these indices multiple times in previous live streams that one positive factor for the consumer durable was that it is a bullish month seasonality wise, and PSU Bank has been a true example of a relative strength performance. So if you try to look for a performance on different time frames, be it 1 month or 3 month, then you'll see that the PSU index has been like one of the good performers. That's why one or the other dates keep popping up on the top. So those of you who are new here, I can go back to this Nifty Consumer Durable and show you how we figured out the seasonality. So you can see when I come to any particular index. Sorry, I opened the wrong one. When you open any index, the first things you will see here is the performance versus Nifty. So if these bars are higher than Nifty, then mean it is outperforming the market. Otherwise, it's underperforming. So what I meant to show here was that when the August month was about to start, we came here in the seasonality grid and we noticed that the August month has been relatively very positive historically. So you can see almost every year the August month had been very good for this sector, which is why we picked this sector. And within that, you can then do further analysis based on its components and relative strength within the sector. So if I try to look at the chart of this index, you can see it has been making higher highs and it is fairly outperforming the market in current scenario. If you have any questions, just post in the comments. Meanwhile, I will look at the diffusion as well as sentiment indicators. So you can see diffusion is when you run a certain filter on a basket of stocks. So for example, on my screen, as you are seeing, the current first indicator is to check how many percentage of stocks are above the 20-day averages for the Nifty, which is the Nifty 50. So you can see we were quite up there in the overbought zone around 90, and from there we've seen a negative divergence and then finally broke off. So we are still not there at the very low end of this indicator wherein it gets oversold. But if we look at this percentage of stocks with RMI buy, which means how much percentage of stocks are there have their RMI indicator in bullish mode, that is right now at 20, and last time also it was at 20. It caused a 2 to 3 day bounce in the market. So you can see Whether it's a bounce or a fresh leg on the upside, the readings around 20 or even below 20 work as a short-term oversold level. Uh, no, you won't get any tips in Strike website. It's a tool to help you do your own analysis. You will get uh, many new tools that you may not have used anywhere else, like this diffusion indicators, wherein you get to judge the strength in the underlying market. But no, we're not a investment advisor. You'll have to do your own analysis using the various tools we are going to provide you. So a lot of new stuff is waiting here to get live soon, and I'll be sharing every day what all things we keep adding to Strike platform. You can just log into the website, which is the web.strike.money, and experience it yourself. Going back to the sentiment indicators, so we have been discussing FII net positions daily. They are still around that my negative 40,000 mark, and we are yet to see any significant change in this number from here. So if we are to see any further short buildup, or whether or not they start covering from here on. The the another interesting indicator, which was right at the bottom end of the range, was the open interest put call ratio. So you can see it has picked up slightly from the bottom. Let me draw. Yeah, hope you all can see this deviation, whereas the market is at a new low. So this is kind of a divergence being seen here, which should ideally resolve either by the ratio going further down, or the price reversing the downtrend. So ideally, since we are at the very low end of this indicator, you can see historically this lowest readings do result in a reversal in the market. So this is a very important thing to watch in the very short term. So this is a sort of a divergence that we have developed with the put call ratio. Uh, Sale. Okay. Someone is asking to look at sales chart. If I simply go by the seasonality, then I can see that August and September are not good months to be in this stock. But let's see the chart as well. Yeah, it is pretty weak. You can see it has been continuously falling, and is even below. It is also breaking below its 200-day average, uh, which is a very long-term support. Let's look at the setup now. Since daily supports are already broken, try to look at the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, RMI has had been in buy, Dow trend had been in buy, but right now you can see if this week, which is on Friday, if it closes it right at this level, then Dow trend will also go into sell mode. 20 and 40-week averages are also hinting uh, at a break. So these are the key supports for this particular chart, which is at 85.5 and 85.96. So broadly, if I have to say, for this particular chart, 86 level remains the deciding level. If it holds on weekly closing basis, then we might see some pickup. Otherwise, it looks to be a very weak chart. You can post your questions. Okay. If you have any questions regarding any of the tools that I've shown here, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll wind it up for today and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay, guys. Shiv Agro. Okay. Is it a BSC only stock? Uh, One second. So as of now, in Strike itself, we have only NSE data. So in Strike, I won't be able to check this chart, but otherwise, let me open the chart on another tool to have a look. So yeah, this this particular chart also looks pretty weak. It is below all the supports, but its weekly RMI is giving us buy signal. So yeah, can wait for getting confirmation on the weekly time frame. Look, otherwise, possibly looks near a bottom. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning into today's session. We'll wind it up and we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.